Hello, welcome to another episode of The Gallery. My name is Mercy Alexander, and my guest today is Dr. Abdul-Azeez Olajide Adediran. He is PDP governorship flag bearer in Lagos State. So sit, it's going to be an exciting time with him.
Abdul-Azeez Olajide Adediran, popularly known as Jandor, he is a Nigerian politician, journalist, entrepreneur, and technocrat. He is the chairman of Lagos for Lagos movement and the Lagos State governorship candidate under the People's Democratic Party (PDP) with his running mate Funke Akindele. He is the recipient of the 2021 Honorary Doctorate in Leadership and Governance by South American University, Lagos, Nigeria. Born 25th November 1977, he is the fifth child of 7 siblings in Mushin area of Lagos to a Christian mother and a Muslim father. Jandor is an alumnus of several institutions of learning, including the Polytechnic Ibadan, Module University Vienna, the prestigious Howard University School of Business Washington, D.C., USA, and Oxford University, Oxford, United Kingdom. He also belongs to several professional bodies such as the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations (NIPR), the Advertising Practitioners Council of Nigeria (APCON), the Nigerian Union of Journalists (NUJ), the Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria (BON). He is also a member of the prestigious Yoruba Tennis Club and Eko Club. He founded a career in communication consultancy, developing himself first as a proficient journalist with close to 2 decades of activities spanning business, entertainment, and politics. A member of several professional bodies such as the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations (NIPR), Nigerian Union of Journalists (NUJ), Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria, he currently sits atop the management of Core Media Services Limited, a full-flagged media outfit involved in advertising and media consultancy, Datanet Project Services, and oil installation, procurement, and construction company. Owner of Core TV News, a 24-hour national digital terrestrial station on channel 748, also streaming online, available on Google Play Store and iOS. CoreBet, a casino and sports betting firm, is also the chairman of Jandor Foundation, an NGO solely set up to cater for the downtrodden in Lagos State. He is the recipient of many professional awards and the Nigerian at 50 Young Achievers Award in the year 2010. He founded the Jandor Foundation, a non-profit organization aimed at empowering the less privileged, especially in Lagos. The foundation has a presence in all the 57 local government areas and LCDAs in Lagos, with over 2,000 volunteers, 10,000 changed lives, 1,800 commissioned projects. Olajide, liberal through religion, is a devout Muslim and is happily married with children.
You are an entrepreneur and you are the CEO of Core TV. What are those biggest challenges you have faced so far?
Are you speaking in terms of business? Of course, for every entrepreneur, you have same challenges that you face. That is the lack of ease of doing business, and that's been there because you just have to run everything all by yourself. You have to be your own government, providing electricity for yourself, sourcing for funds to turn around the business and all that. So it's just similar thing that is going on in the country. So every entrepreneur will face that, and especially in our industry, it's an industry where whether or not you make that money, you have to burn that diesel. You have to run that overhead. You just have to keep on keeping on. But because for some of us, we're doing something that we've got passion for. It's something that has defined us, that has defined who we are So we've been hanging in there, but we're saying we're survivors and we'll continue to survive.
Thank you. During one of your live television interview, you spoke about conspiracy of silence in Lagos State. Can you share more light on that?
Of course. The state of Lagos is where you have everything going wrong and nobody's saying anything. And that's what I spoke about, using that word, that phrase, conspiracy of silence. We all agree that Lagos hasn't worked for everyone. It has only been working for an individual. But we're not talking. We all know that Lagos is only a wealthy state on paper. We can't see the wealth of Lagos on the streets of Lagos. Yet nobody's saying anything. We all know that the government of Lagos goes out to boast that they make 50 billion naira every month in terms of revenue generation. And we can't even see where this money goes to, and everybody kept quiet. We know that Lagos, is a state where you have an individual deciding who gets what, who is even the king in your village. Everybody's keeping quiet. And for us, we've decided to be that voice, for everyone. We've decided to bring the long overdue and much needed breath of fresh air in the state of Lagos with our candidates. And we're saying, 2023 election will be that year all Lagosians will come together and put an end to a dynasty that has held us a jugular for over 2 decades. It's the year we want to elect for the first time an independent governor, the one that will not be tied to an apron string of an individual.
Oh God,
A governor that won't require second level of approval before it can make Lagos work for people. So that is what Lagos needs now. So that conspiracy of silence that we spoke about, we're breaking that jinx, and that's what we're here.
Now, sir, Lagos State has been an APC state since 1999, and you were part of it until recently. How confident are you that you're going to win this election?
Before you can end a dynasty, there must first be an implosion within that, dynasty. And that's speaking to us who were of the APC, now moving from APC to PDP, which shows that the long overdue implosion has already been created within the APC. And we didn't take the gains to anywhere. We took it to PDP where we are now. So in every election cycle, what you always get is PDP doing about 40% in every election cycle. And the percentage that they need to cross the threshold is what we have brought in from APC to PDP, meaning that we've left deficits in APC and PDP has gained a whole lot. So 2023 election is going to be a walkover for People's Democratic Party in the state of Lagos, of which I'm the candidate of that party for 2023 election.
You spoke about how Lagos State government stopped your big board campaign. How do you feel, and what do you intend to do about it?
Well, all I did first was to take the case to a court of public opinion for people to see that the sitting government is not tolerant of opposition, and they are trying to use the machinery of the state to stop every opposing camp from being seen and being heard, in the state of Lagos. And that was the first thing we did, take it to court of public opinion. Then our strategy to ensure that people of Lagos get to see and get to hear us is within us, and then by the time campaign starts, we get out on the street. But I want to assure you, we do everything within the ambit of the law to ensure that we put our campaign material out there when it's really time to do that. So they can't stifle us. They can't. This is my state. I'm from here. There is nothing anybody can do to deny me of my right or to deny the party of his right to have electionary campaign when it's time. So we're on top of it.
What is your take on the ban of Okada in Lagos State? What's other alternative, if you are in the present governor's shoe, what alternative measure would you have taken?
It depends on which of the ban you are talking about now. Is it the one that they banned in 2020 and rebanned in 2022? Because we are confused, because the government came and banned Okada in 2020, and they are rebanning what they banned again in 2022. Okay. And we started asking ourselves, is it that they've forgotten that they once banned this thing in 2020 and coming back again in 2022 to reban it? Okay. And that is what we are speaking to. That is what you get if you put people who are tired, who you've been recycling over and over again in office, you know. Majority of them in the cabinet of Sowolu, they've been there since 1999. Some are even using the seat now, sitting in the cabinet with children of their friends. Is that bad? So you can't but have this kind of forgetful thinking within that thing. I mean, you came to say you are banning what you banned in 2022. Anyway, that's by the way. I've said this over and over again. Of course, all of us have seen the menace of Okada riders, and if you must clean up, we have to do what we have to do. But however, we can put human face into this. Whether you like it or not, these people are already in our economy. Okay, yes. Now, and that's a means of livelihood for some of them. Okay, so we need to take it away. What are we giving to them in return? Nothing. So there's no how, because they're already in this economy. If you take that away from them, the same way you have taken it away from them, they will resort to something, because there's no alternative. And you can't but have high crime rates and all of that. If you see what is happening now, even the place you call sophisticated areas in Lagos, like Ikoyi and all of that, what you see around are threats of people who have migrated from the areas you have deserted, you know, in search of greener pasture in those areas, and they're constituting threat already. But if you give them development where they are, they will stay there. Okay, and this is what we need to do in redistributing that development of Lagos, infrastructural renewal, to make sure everybody gets their own. What I would have done differently in this case of Okada rider is, of course, yes, we know the city center had to be cleaned up, of course. And we already know that there are some roads in Lagos where even the government of the day, have not done anything to in the past 20 years that you've been in office. There's some inner roads that no vehicle can get there aside from this Okada. You can find a way of restricting them in those areas. Because let me tell you something. You just said they have banned. When you go to those areas, they are still operating.
Obviously, yes.
Exactly. They are still there. So really, the law in question is not even working, because you made it for some section of the state. So that's what we're speaking to. So if you really need to be truthful to yourself, you look at your state very well and clean up the city center. And these areas that you have not developed and people need to survive, you ensure that you restrict them there. And I've spoken to the fact that we once had opportunity upon which we would have used in cleaning up this sector of our economy. But as a state, what do we do with that opportunity? We just blow it away. And when Gokada and OPE came into our economy, we would have used them, to do three things, actually. To say, okay, I'm just going to license you to be the only people operating Okada in our state. I will give you a no-go area. These are the routes you mustn't plow. We will do all of that. And we will then ask you to ensure that before you give your Okada, either in the name of Haley's or your own, you must make sure you sieve even all the aliens you don't want in your economy out of it, and do your due diligence before you can get anybody into that scheme. By so doing as well, you would have migrated that sector of the economy from informal sector to formal, meaning that government would then have to take PE from them. What would you have achieved? You would have achieved cleaning up your city center by saying to the two hailing companies, either Gokada or OPE, that look, you don't go here, and they already know they don't go here. So if I see any OPay or Okada in this area, I will not run after them. I will come after your license. You will see that on their own. Exactly. On their own, they'll protect their business. They'll find a way of making sure perhaps they put a tracker that will not make you go into another location where you're supposed to go and all of that. So we didn't do anything without we send them packing. So we are struggling today. I would have said, you know what, don't come to Ikeja, don't come to this area, don't go on 3rd Mainland Bridge, don't go this, don't go that, but restrict them to hinterland and making sure that you clean up your system. Because in other developed states, let me use UAE for instance. Outside Dubai, there are some places where you get there, perhaps Ajima or Sharjah, you'll be asking yourself, is it part of UAE? But Dubai is the only place that people exactly
talk about.
But there are other places. And what have they done? They've restricted, all of those things that you don't need to see at the city center in
far
those
from
areas,
Dubai.
Far from here. So that's how to do, because you can't have everybody on equal pedestal in an economy. There will be the super rich, there will be the medium class, there will be the downtrodden. But what you should give them is that basic needs that they need to have to survive wherever they choose to stay.
Now, you choose an actress as your running mate, and I could remember then there were a lot of talks and all that. Why do you sit down? What is that thing that made you say, no, this is the person I need as my running mate to run for this campaign in Lagos State and win?
I didn't choose an actress. I chose a filmmaker.
Okay.
And there's a whole lot of difference in a filmmaker and an actress. If I've chosen you, they would have said, you choose
a broadcaster.
Exactly. And I'll say, no, I didn't choose a broadcaster. I chose a producer. Because I know you're beyond being a broadcaster. This session that we are having, you have conceptualized this session. You're going to interview Jandor. You put pen to paper to do a script. After which, you sit in front of me. We're having this conversation. You knew you are going to use 2 camera works. There must be lights. One is going to take close shot. One is going to take long shot. One is going to take
a wide angle shot.
A wide angle shot. And after which, you enter post-production room. You know what shot to put where, what not to use. From this interview, you know where to take your first questions. Now, what we have had before now, you're using another chair to do opening and closing. When you get to post-production, you know what magic to do.
You have to put together. Yes.
Now tell me, do you have somebody who is not intelligent doing such a thing? That is the type of person that I chose as my running mate. Outside that, she's an entrepreneur that everybody knows. There's something you can't take away from my running mate. She's been a success story in that industry. And she has built a brand from ground zero to something. She's been an employer of labor. She's better off the ones that is serving now, that has been a salary earner before somebody gave them opportunity to come and serve as deputy governor of the state and as governor of the state. So myself, a Funke candidacy is better off the people that you have now, who has never grew up 3-man business to any level, and somebody gives them this over 1 trillion economy to run. That is why you can see a sitting governor who has grown the internal debt of Lagos from 500 and something to 780 now, in carry over 200 billion in 1 year with nothing to show for it. So us as business people, if we borrow money to run the business, we know we have to turn around that money. There must be, we would pay salary, we will get resources, we know we have to manage it, there must be profit, we need to service that debt, and we still need to keep the business afloat. These ones, they've never been in such a situation before, and somebody give them opportunity. What do you expect? This is what you're going to expect.
Now, finally, what do you have to say to the people of Lagos State?
Well, I just have to say to the people of Lagos State that this is an opportunity for all of us to choose between the status quo, what we have now, and a breath of fresh air. What is the status quo? We already know. We need an independent governor in the state of Lagos. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your time, and do have a wonderful day.